Viewer discretion is advised.
Boom, perfect timing.
Okay, what's your name?
Tim.
Tim what?
Wait, why do I have to give you that? I don't understand that.
Because I stopped you for a traffic violation. You have to get
For what traffic?
not using turn signal 100 feet prior.
Are you kidding?
Did I commit a crime? I need to speak to your supervisor.
Okay, he's on his way, and he's got to tell you the same thing. You got to give me your ID. Step out.
Sir, don't put your hands on me. I want your supervisor. I want your supervisor. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, hey, hey. I'm not.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh my
Turn
God.
it.
Hey, what the fuck?
You get back.
Sir!
Get back.
Get your camera on, please!
Back in the car.
Sarah.
Stay in the car.
No one's
I
gonna
haven't
record it.
resisted or anything. What the hell is this about?
Knees up. Stand up.
Are you kidding me?
Knees up, roll on your
I'm
knees.
not going to move.
All right, that's fine.
I want the supervisor. That's all I asked for.
There's no need for
You know what there's no need for?
crime was committed!
That's a traffic violation.
Sir, you wanted
Okay, he's gonna ticket.
Just ask
You have to give me the
You
right.
have to let me speak to your supervisor.
No.
That's the law.
And he's coming, but he's
That
gonna tell
is
you
the law.
same thing. Have you seen?
Get white.
In the tri-state area, whispers of misconduct, corruption, and outrage have spread since the emergence of an autodidactic constitutional law scholar determined to expose the dark side of law enforcement. Enter Chile de Castro. Chile de Castro, who launched his YouTube channel Delete Laws in 2021, has attracted over 369,000 subscribers by offering discussions, dashcam and bodycam footage, and his perspective on American law enforcement. Following a message from an Ironton resident reporting police misconduct involving the Ironton Police Department, Mr. de Castro made an appearance in Ironton. Since then, he has been consistently uploading videos that feature him confronting police officers, sharing accounts of incidents inside the Lawrence County Jail, and conducting interviews with individuals accusing the Ironton Police Department of misconduct. After uploading a video to YouTube on March 21st, 2022, documenting his initial visit to Ironton, his presence gradually gained recognition. Over time, his videos started to gain traction and attract more viewers from the tri-state area. Mr. de Castro revealed that his phone has been inundated with emails and messages from numerous individuals in the tri-state region who claim to have experienced mistreatment by the police. On November 14th, 2023, I had the privilege of interviewing Chile de Castro regarding his extensive investigation into the corruption present within the Ironton Police Department. During our interview, we delved into the first 5 episodes of his newly released 15-part series, where he provides a detailed account of his experiences upon arriving in Ironton, Ohio, back in March of 2022. I kindly request that you show your support by subscribing to his new YouTube channel, American Patriot Proudly. Through this platform, he will continue to release new episodes and keep you updated on the progress made in this case. I want to stress that what we're dealing with here is truly extraordinary. It's a story that absolutely needs to be told. A powerful illustration of widespread corruption within a small town police department.
Now, I remember when you were going through this, and I don't think I really understood the gravity of what was going on during this time. And now that I understand, I am absolutely floored. I am shocked at what I saw, and you are like a modern day superhero. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
This is my mission. This is why I was born. This is exactly what I was intended to do. I have the right amount of mix of knowledge, charisma, and pure grit where I don't back down. I don't care what you're going to do to me. If I'm standing on my rights, I'm not backing off of them. So it's been, and a lot of people have asked me over the past year to create something that breaks down Ironton into small little bite-sized pieces. I'm very grateful to my editor, M.O. I'll give you his initials. This man came on board with me, and I said, I'm going to fund you to sit down and watch 100 hours of video. And he's an editor. He edits video all day, and he agreed to do that. So, and then after he watched the 100 hours, he was like you, he was blown away at exactly the depth of the corruption in Ironton, Ohio. And that's why we called it American Patriot instead of Ironton Uncovered, because after I leave Ironton, Ohio, I then go over to Youngstown, and I discover that the police there have set up and murdered a guy named James Sheets. So after this series of Ironton is completed, will take probably 5 seasons, we're then going to keep on going into Youngstown and the places I went after that. So when we go into episode 1 and we talk about Tim and Sarah, Sarah had reached out to me maybe 4 weeks before I went and sent me a video of a cop stalking her, following her around. His name is Blankenship. And he had been stalking her and following her around. And I saw the video and I was like, yeah, I get a lot of videos people send me of cops stalking them. I was like, you know what? I want to help you. And I was on tour across the country helping people. At the same time, though, I needed a little bit more. And then she calls me maybe a week later. She's been arrested now and pulled over for having a wrong color car. At first, I didn't even believe it. I had to see it on video myself. Then she calls me again. At this time, I'm in Dallas. I'm helping another guy help him get his case situated. And then she sends me a video of the police pulling her over for not using a blinker within 100 feet of a stop sign. But we know that's not true. We know it was made up. And it's the same cop who's stalking her. He tells her to be a woman and own it and get out of the car. At that point, I was in Dallas, Texas. I called her. You heard it on the episode 1. I said, I'm 15 hours away. I'm driving there right now. I'll be there by Monday morning.
Okay, what's your name?
Tim.
Tim what?
Wait, why do I have to give you that? I don't understand that.
Because I stopped you for a traffic violation. You have to
Why?
For what traffic?
not using turn signal 100 feet prior.
Are you kidding?
Did I commit a crime? I need to speak to your supervisor.
Okay, he's on his way, and he's got to tell you the same thing. You got to give me your ID. Step out.
Sir, don't put your hands on me. I want your supervisor. I want your supervisor. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, I'm not.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh, my
Turn
God.
it.
What are you
Hey, what the
doing?
You get back.
Sir!
Get back.
Get your camera on, please!
Get back in the car.
Sarah.
Stay in the car.
No one's
I
gonna
haven't
record it.
resisted or anything.
This is
What the hell is this about?
Knees up. Stand up.
Are you kidding me?
Knees up, roll on your
I'm
knees.
not going to move.
That's fine.
I want the supervisor. That's all I asked for.
There is no need for
You know what there's no need for?
crime was committed!
That's a traffic violation.
Sir, you weren't even
Okay, he's gonna ticket.
Just ask
You have to give me the
You
right.
have to let me speak to your supervisor.
No.
That's the law.
And he's coming, but he's
That
gonna tell
is
you
the law.
same thing. Have you seen?
Get white.
601 on 341 San 121.
Step on out.
I've done nothing wrong.
You can step on out.
Fine, but there's no
Step back here with
sense in
him,
that.
okay? You can stand back here with him,
None.
okay? You can stand back here with him, okay?
Why did you do that?
Okay.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
I've done nothing wrong. It's not wrong to plead my case. What have I done?
Lean back your car.
He is.
All right, well, he can sit there for a minute.
So this is what happened. I'm behind another car, and I observed because I was watching the vehicle.
Hey, back her up.
So I'm got my lights on. That car goes that way. Here's my supervisor.
What's up, bro?
Well, here's the thing. Being yanked out of my property and swam around.
Okay, yeah. I won't. Yeah, she said he's got 2 tattoos. One looks like a fist, and one looks like a square. He's got an eye on one side and a square tattoo right here. Where's it at? How much is it?
346, 347.
So that arrest is later. It had been a year, maybe a few months, somewhere in there. What had happened was Tim works building pools. He puts in pools. So it's only a seasonal job. And then they do Uber Eats or they do DoorDash. And so these folks, they're paycheck to paycheck, and more than paycheck to paycheck, they are struggling all the time. And so what happened was Tim and Sarah had gone to the CVS there in Ironton, and they had just got their paycheck. So a $300 or $400 paycheck for people who don't have any money is a lot of money. I know that because I don't come from a rich family. So $300 or $400 is a lot of money. So they go into CVS and they're happy. They're buying all their stuff that they get because they got payday. And then they walk outside with their items. They get into the car and then they drive away. Sarah has her wallet, Tim's wallet, in her hand when she leaves the CVS with all the bags. And then when they get in the car and they drive away, they're going to another store to spend some money because they finally have some money. And Sarah's looking around and she can't find the wallet. So they realize, she knows Sarah's a pretty sharp tack. They say, I had the wallet in my hand when I left CVS. So they go back to where they were. And in the space that they were parked is an Ironton cop named Mcknight. So they go over, they look there, and then Mcknight leaves before they can get there and start researching. As soon as he leaves, they pull into the same spot they were. They're looking around for the wallet. There's no wallet. So they go to the Ironton Police Department and they say, hey, we think one of your officers picked up our wallet. And they're not accusing him. They just think maybe he found it. And so can you give us back the wallet? Because we know we dropped it right here and then we saw you right there. So can you please return the wallet? That turns into, are you accusing an officer of stealing your wallet? And then Tim and Sarah are like, well, if the wallet was there and the copper was there, then where's the wallet? And then the cop says to them, well, even if I do find a wallet, there's not going to be any money in it. So there was over $200 in the wallet, $150, $200, something like that. I can't remember the exact amount at this point, but they took that wallet a year in advance. And then after they took the wallet, Tim and Sarah went down to file a complaint at the police department. Almost a year later is when all the stalking and arresting and harassing and pulling over for the wrong color car twice and the no blinker twice. And the fifth time Sarah was pulled over, she wasn't even driving.
What's paying you?
It's going to 2625 6th Street.
Really?
Ironton.
What's our Really?
Yep.
Look at the little doggy. Look at. Hey, buddy. Watch the motherfucker. I'm tired of worrying about them pulling me over and dumb shit. Next time they pull me over, they better have a real good fucking reason.
Doing it intentionally too to intimidate us.
Oh, he's pulling us over.
Crack your window.
Oh, I got you. Lock my doors.
Unfortunately, you've committed a couple.
Just don't argue with him. We just need to get back to work, so.
Traffic violations on just your vehicle. So,
Okay.
shut up.
Just don't say that.
Just shut up. Because I'm not talking to you.
Is that a lawful order?
That is a lawful order.
Okay.
I don't like being interrupted. I don't like trying to be talked over to. What you're trying to do
apologize.
is what she is doing.
Okay.
I apologize.
So this is what I'm saying. I want you to take your seatbelt off and you're coming back here, me and you're going to talk like men instead of having your wife yell over the top.
Sir,
Oh, wow.
I
I told you
apologize.
once, shut up.
Okay,
I
just
I told you once, shut up.
listen.
Shut up. Yeah.
No, sir, no,
Shut
sir. She's not breaking any laws.
She's
I've not-
done obstructed me twice. If I give her a lawful order to shut up,
But
it
she
is.
said I apologize. Answer, open the door.
Ow.
Who was talking to us, sir?
No, I said
Step out here. Take your
Okay.
seatbelt off.
Just
Face
step
away.
out. Just do what he says, babe.
You are one right there.
I
tell her-
asked if we could de-escalate. That's all I said.
de-escalated, and she continued to yell and talk over top of
Is
us.
she being under arrest here?
Yes, she is.
For talking?
For obstruction and failure to comply
Sir,
with a
she was
lawful order.
just telling you the
After
issue.
I told her to shut up and let me and you talk.
Okay, I'll speak to
Because
your
she was
supervisor.
yelling over
Are you the
top of you.
supervisor?
Yes, go ahead, talk to her.
I'm sorry. I don't know how this escalated into all this. We've been stopped here in this town before for this, and you were the one that stopped us.
You guys have also made false complaints.
Well, we haven't made any complaints. No, she attempted to make a complaint.
But it was false.
That was
She
false.
got called out on it.
What was the
Right away out of
complaint?
station.
What was the complaint?
I'm not exactly
The complaint was about us being stopped and me being yanked out of my car and held in jail for 3 days. And my family told him that I didn't have a bond when actually I did. The bondsman came and killed me.
That has nothing to do with us.
Exactly. Well, that was what she was attempting to complain about. We didn't know who to go to with that complaint. I'm going to put this back in my glove box. Oh, God damn it. She fainted. She fainted. Babe.
Yes, sir. There's no need for ambulance. I just scare really easy, and I understand that's what you have to do.
I need to get on my phone and cancel this delivery. All this embarrassment.
The day that you're talking about when they were pulled over and he's telling her to shut up. And Tim says, is that a lawful order? He says, yes, I don't like to be interrupted. That's totally false. It's in my trifold, Cohen versus California. You have the right to say whatever you want. And then Houston versus Hill, 1987, you have the right to interrupt police. So Blankenship is a jackboot thug pig who was dominating them by using his badge. I don't know if they went to jail on that day, but on one occasion, they both went to jail. And then on another occasion, I think just one of them went to jail. There's 5 of them. So
Right. It's
just to keep 5 pullovers within like a month, stalking her through town. And everybody knows it. All the government knows it. The judges know it. Everybody knows what they're doing. And they're allowing these pigs to do this to these people. What happens here is Tim and Sarah are pulled over for not using a blinker or the wrong color of car. And when they're pulled over, as soon as that Blankenship, the older Blankenship, I think his name is Brandon Blankenship, pulls over Tim and Sarah, he radios in that he's pulled over these people that they're stalking. Well, then immediately Mcknight, who they knew stole the wallet and accused him publicly of stealing the wallet, then Mcknight, as you can see in the episode, he comes rushing there.
Yeah.
And then with Sarah in the passenger seat and Tim being harassed by Brandon, then Mcknight walks up to Sarah's car door, opens her door, tries to open it, but it's locked, as I teach everybody to keep their doors locked. And then he demands that they open the car door, immediately pulls her out and puts her in torture cuffs and shoves her in the back of the car, of the pig patrol car. And then at that point, because Sarah has low blood sugar and she scares very easily, when they leave her in those torture cuffs in the back of that car for 30 minutes. And then when she finally gets out of the car, she faints. And then Tim sees this. He loves her. He goes running over to help her. And she's explaining to them, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to treat me like this. But these people are demons. They're evil. They really are evil. Mcknight is evil. I have so many stories about Mcknight that I've never told because the people in that town, if you tell me your story and you don't give me permission to air your story, even if I distort your voice, then I will not air your story. And Andre, I have hundreds of stories about the police in Ironton, Ohio on my phone. So Mcknight, Blankenship, the Spoljaric brothers, one worked for the sheriff's department, one worked for the Ironton police department. They're all in Fouch. They're all in it together. The blue wall of silence from the Mullen Commission has never been more obvious. The blue wall of silence is happening in Ironton, Ohio right now. And by the way, it's still happening in Ironton, Ohio.
I've literally been circled. How many times now? That makes the 3rd time. And I can't fucking do it, man. I can't do it. What? Seriously. Dude. Can't do it, man. I can't.
He's pulling you over.
He can't pull me over. I didn't do anything.
Use your 5th Amendment right. You got a license on you, ma'am?
I do, but I'm on the phone with 911 now, and I want to know why you're following me.
I'm not following you.
You did. You circled the block 3 times. That's why I stopped and pulled over to lock eyes with you, because every time I come over here, you all harass me. What did I do?
You broke a traffic violation.
What was a traffic violation?
It was a turn signal and a stop sign
You just
violation.
did a U-turn in the middle of the street.
To catch up to you.
To me, sir, I stopped immediately.
Well, just hop out here.
I'm not. I need an officer here, please. This officer has been following me.
826.
I've not done anything wrong.
It's how this works. I'm going to ask you to step out. I'm going to tell you to step out, and then I'm going to force you to step out. You broke a traffic violation. Be a woman. Own up to it. We're here. You got ID on you? I told you what the traffic violation was. That was a turn signal.
Doing a U-turn in the middle of the street for no emergency you have to abide by the law as well, and I didn't do anything. I stopped right there.
Well, I'm writing you a citation for the turn signal and
That's
stop sign.
fine.
I said just mark and hold our information. I think I had an interaction with you up here, and you
did. You stopped me in front of Jolene while I was putting my makeup on for a turn signal violation. That didn't happen.
Okay. I'm informing you that you are going to get a citation for the turn signal and a stop sign. So,
in the middle of the road.
I have you on video.
That's fine.
Following me, circling the block, coming around, and finding me. And I am going to your superiors.
There he is.
Here I am.
No, I'm going to your superior.
Oh, okay. Her name's Chief Wagner. She's
I
at the
know
office
exactly
today.
who she is. I spoke with Miss Wagner several times.
Okay. They never do anything. What you got?
She stopped right at the crosswalk. And then when she seen me, that's when she turned the turn signal on.
There you go. Make sure you put a nice narrative on the background so you can reference it, because I'm sure she'll take it to court.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Okay, Sarah, I'm leaving here tomorrow morning. It'll take me 12 hours to drive to Ohio.
So, well, I live in Kentucky, which is right across the river.
I know you live in Kentucky. I know where you live. I got everything all mapped out. So this is just a phone call to let you know that I'm on my way. I'll see you in less than 24, 48 hours. Okay?
I appreciate you so much.
I need
much.
Get all your videos in order so that we can go over them as quick as we can when I get there. Okay?
Okie doke.
Okay, I'll see you Monday morning.
All right, thank you very much.
You bet. Hey, Sarah, keep it under your hat. Keep it under your hat, real quiet, okay?
Definitely.
Monday. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
And right when I got into town, the moment I got into town, it was almost like this feeling of like a boom, you know? I could feel the energy of the corruption that was on the street level there. And nobody there had ever challenged the police, ever, in the history of Ironton, Ohio. Nobody had ever walked up to them and said, you are a pig, and I'm going to film you, and I'm going to catch you being corrupt. So I got there. I stayed at Tim and Sarah's the first night. I slept on the floor for like 4 hours, got up, jumped in the shower, and then I got out of there and I went and checked into an Airbnb. But right away when I got there, I was driving my car with California plates on it, and this is a small town. Right away, as soon as I drove through town, 25-mile-an-hour streets, people are looking at me as I drive by. And I'm like, I got a booger hanging on my nose or something. You know, it was just such a strange thing. And then to watch the videos of Tim and Sarah and the abuse they had gone through and the torture and the wrongful arrest and leaving Tim in jail for 3 days, telling his family he doesn't have a bond when he did. So these things were catalysts for me to just stay there and keep going.
The things that are happening here are so egregious. What I'm seeing on video is outright constitutional violations. And I'm not talking about Yunez. I'm not talking about where they put him in handcuffs and tortured him. I'm talking about stalking. I'm talking about stalking people. And when you guys see the video, when you see what these cops are doing in Ironton, is that the police department right there? That is the police department. Well, God bless. Now, inside this police department here, I won't express quite the same amount of Hello? Well, that's definitely a cop car, and they got some stuff in there. So that's B. Pauley. This is a police interceptor. So you got the lights back here. There has to be another way into this police department. Nothing. I don't know why they're ducking. Ma'am, is there a way to get into that police department?
You have to go out back and
Okay.
under the whatever that blue awning or something.
Is there a way to call there or anything?
No idea.
I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Are you a police officer? No. Is there a way to get access to the police officers? I want to file a complaint.
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to file a complaint.
Does that door not open?
It does not open. I tried it. I gave it the old college try here. Hey.
That ain't me.
I need to file a complaint. That's why I'm here.
That's that place, not this place.
That's gonna be that place right there.
Yeah, but you guys, how do I get access? I need to file
Call
a
that
complaint.
phone number. Step down there because we're getting ready to bring inmates
We're
out.
gonna
Step
bring
down there and
inmates
make that. Call that phone number.
In the history of you guys doing this, has anybody ever tried to take prisoners out of your hands? So that's not going to happen today, then, is it?
I've done
Well, then
it
is it?
46 years and I ain't never lost one.
Right, and so I'm not going to start today
Right, but you're
trying
in the
to
way,
take.
though, of them coming
I'm not
down
in the
there
way.
in
You can
shackles.
walk right by me.
Back over there.
I don't want you there.
I don't care if you want me here. This is a publicly
Hey,
funded
no,
job.
it's not.
Go ahead, dude.
Listen.
Go ahead.
I don't care.
Go ahead. You don't know who I am.
I don't care who you are.
Okay, well, I can stand right here.
Well, I don't
I'm
know.
waiting for them to
We're
answer the
bringing
door.
inmates out.
I
I don't
give a
want
damn
you
what
there.
You're doing. I don't care.
I don't care what
I
you're
don't
doing.
care.
You're in our way.
I'm not in your way. There's
The hell
plenty of
you
space
ain't. You're
right-
in my
If
way.
they would answer the door, I would have
want you
a
to step down
conversation.
there.
I'll step on this
Step
side.
right down there.
I'm not stepping
That's what I
anywhere.
want
I'm
you to
waiting
do.
by this door. I'm waiting by this door, dude. And that's what I'm doing. No one's ever tried to attack you and take these inmates away, so just stop it. Settle yourself down. Can I file a complaint?
Not
where?
at this moment.
Criminal reports. That's the one I want right there. 740-532-3525. Is the chief here? Is Pam Wagner here? Real polite folks here in Ironton, Ohio. Well, guys, let me just tell you, I'm a civil libertarian, and what I do is I expose corrupt police departments all over
Congratulations, I'm glad you do.
over the country. And this one
This
right
young
here,
lady right here.
this one right here is super corrupt. When they were taking the people who were in jail, because I don't want to call them prisoners,
Right.
when they were taking those people out of the jail and taking them to the courthouse and walking them over to the bus, he walked up to me and demanded that I move from my position. And I didn't think that was right. Why do I have to move? You have 3 or 4 cops here. You all have guns. I'm in front of the police department. These people are in chains. Why do I got to move? And so I told him, no, I'm not going to move. And then I'm not sure if you really pay attention in the episode. Then when they opened the door and I saw that the door was like right behind me, I actually moved to the other side because I'm not trying to obstruct justice. I'm just trying to let him know that I am a free American and I can stand right there. Well, that wasn't good enough for him. Even though I moved out of the way to the left, then he said, you can't stand there. So then I said to him, how many times have people stolen prisoners from you? How many times have people escaped from jail right here? How many times? And he said, well, I've never lost any. And I said, well, you're not going to lose any today, are you? So settle yourself down. And it was just, it's the way the cops are in our country. They think they are our daddies, but they signed up to be beta males. They signed up to be told what to do constantly. They sign up to go to work and the supervisor above them will tell them what to do every day. And then if they have any questions, they got to call into base to ask them what they think they should do. Like, understand that about police. If you understand that, then you are the alpha. And if you have that confidence about you and you see it in your eyes, those pigs will back down 99 times out of 100. Okay. Hey, I'm here to file a criminal complaint against Blankenship. I got him on video. You can see the video.
Okay,
And
what's going on?
He's harassing Sarah Page. I've got about 10 videos.
If you're not the victim, I can take no complaint from you, but I have to have a complaint from her.
I'm a civil libertarian. Are you the chief? Are you Pam?
I am.
Oh, but she came here. You're Pam. There's Pam Wagner.
Yep.
So she came here, and what Pam said to her was that she would arrest her for filing a false complaint.
That is not.
That's what you
that's not
said.
true.
That's what you said, Pam. Don't lie. That's what you said. I got it on video. I have it on video. I have
So do
everything
I.
on video. So why can't she file a complaint? Why can't Sarah file a complaint?
She could file a complaint on anything she wants to, and I
No,
explained
you
that to
said
her.
you would arrest her if she filed a complaint. Is what you said.
No, I did not.
That's what
say
you
that.
said. That's what you said. Do you know what I do?
Do you know what I did?
Oh, I know what you do. I know everything about your record. I looked you all up before I drove all the way over here.
I'm sure you did.
So, did you see Blankenship follow Sarah around 6-8 times and pull her over? Did you see her wrist after he cuffed her up? Did you know he's been pulled over twice for not using a blinker? Twice? And then you go to handcuffs for that? You go to handcuffs for not using a blinker?
Okay, when she came in here,
Uh-huh.
what she said is she had it on video.
She does.
Well, she never showed me that video. What she did, and I told her, I said, well, we'll pull the body camera footage up.
Okay.
And we did.
Right?
We did.
And you saw him circle around her 15 times and then put her in cuffs? Two times these people have been pulled over for not using a blinker, and 2 times they've been put in handcuffs. You know handcuffs are torture, right? Absolute torture.
Okay. You've got the video of her being put in handcuffs.
I've got a wrist as well.
No. You've got the
I've
video.
got all the videos, every one of them. There's
Okay.
dozens of videos, Pam. They've been harassing these 2 people because they found a wallet, they didn't give it back, they stole the wallet, your cops did, And then they've been harassing these people for 2 years. And you guys been picking on people who don't have the brains, the charisma, or the knowledge to actually take you on. And that's why I'm here, Pam.
Okay.
And that's what I'm gonna do. Because let me tell you something, you know whose head's gonna roll and fired? Yours. Because of what you've been covering up for 2 years. It's disgusting, Pam. It's disgusting. How could you even stand here and not feel 1 ounce of sorrow? Why don't you just say you're sorry?
For what?
For allowing Blankenship to totally harass Sarah.
When Sarah came in here,
you said you would arrest her for filing a false police report.
That's not what was said.
That's what she told me you said, Pam.
That was not what was said.
What'd you say then?
I told her she can fill out any paperwork she wants.
And?
And she said she had it on video. And I said my officers have it on video as well.
Right. And did you look at the video, Pam?
Absolutely.
And you watched. So she's saying she actually saw the video. Because what you guys have done is criminal.
Are you an attorney?
I don't have to answer your questions. Here's what I do have to file civil litigation again. No, I'm not leaving. I'm in a public space. I'm not going anywhere. This is not McDonald's or Walmart. You can't trespass me for standing here. Are you going to walk away from the meeting now? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to flee? You're going to run and hide? Or do I get to meet with Blankenship now?
There's no one here but me.
Yeah. So you're holding this place down then?
There's no one here. I don't even have a clerk here.
Let me ask you, instead of you and I battling, are you?
I'm not battling because I have nothing to battle over.
You're about to find out. But
Okay.
let me ask you a question. Instead of this, are you actually going to do anything? This is a dog shit police department. She's about to find out. She's about to find out. That's what she's about to do. And I have every right to be upset. She's a total tyrant. You have no idea. You can tell from the way that this guy acts that this is how they all behave here. This is how they behave in Ironton, Ohio. They're all a bunch of cowards, every last one of them. Coward, coward, coward. What they did at Ironton Police Department to these people, Yunez's case is a fraction of what this case is. These people have been arrested, cuffed, jailed. That's what's going on here. That's why I had to leave and have an emergency trip here, because Sarah got pulled over twice in the past 2 weeks, and she got put in handcuffs for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes. Scum buckets. Just scum. Just outright scum. Really, truly scum. There's no other way to see it. When Sarah went to the police department to file her complaint against Mcknight for stealing the wallet, and when she went to the police department for file the complaint for Blankenship stalking her, Pam Wagner told her, if you file a false police report on an officer, you can go to jail for that. And Sarah, a very passive, demure person, she leaves and she never gets to file the complaint. When I heard that, I went down there to confront Pam Wagner and ask her what the deal was. And so the first thing that I saw on Pam's face when I confronted her was fear. I looked her in the eyes and I realized right away she's terrified. And that's most of these pigs that I take on. As soon as I step up and let them know that I'm a scholar and that if you play games with me, I'll file a lawsuit against you and I won't stop until it's done. And Pam knows that now because I'm not stopping. She was afraid. She was so afraid I could see her quaking. Like, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but she's quaking. Her lips are quivering. Her body's quivering. She's very scared. I remember that she lied to me and told me that she did not tell Sarah that she would arrest her for filing a complaint, which later in another episode comes out that she did. Right. And she had all these tells, physical. You can look at her and be like, you're so uncomfortable right now. She showed me mostly, Andre, that she's a coward and she's afraid and that it looked to me like she drinks too much. The color of her skin and her demeanor, she just looked to me like a drunk who was sober for the day, to be honest, and then later to come to find out through the townspeople, Pam spent a lot of time at the bar. They often had to carry her out and put her in the car and someone drive her home. When I was waiting for Waldo in the waiting room of the court, it's a public area. I have every right to be there. Here's the worst part about it, is that when I was recording, talking live to almost 1,000 people, as soon as I turn on my camera in Ironton, 1,000 people come on. Whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, 1,000 people on my live stream. Those are mostly the residents of Ironton, Ohio, because they're so sick of it. So sick of the cops' corruption. So when I was in the courtroom waiting to talk to Kevin Waldo, this is still episode 3, then a bunch of bailiffs and courthouse personnel came in the room and said, hey, you can't be in here. But yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm not disrupting anybody. This is a public room. But they wanted to dominate me. And I said, no, I'm not leaving. And so then they eventually crescendos to where they grab me. And when they grab me, this is the worst. You know how on your iPhone, there's a little button up here that
that turns your phone on or off. Well, as soon as they grab me, my hand is jarred and I click the button off. I don't get a video of them grabbing me, but 4 of them all grab me. And I'm not sure, even though I'm the way I am, I'm not going to fight anybody. I'm not going to have a fist fight. Like I'm not a juvenile. I'm not a barbarian. You know, if someone wants to fight, you guys can set it up. Go get a mat and go somewhere and have a fight. But I'm not going to fight any sort of government official in their official capacity. So when they grab me, they drag me out. And right when I get out, I get my phone back on because I'm still running live. And then I don't get to get a video of it all. And then as soon as they grab me and drag me out of that room, I then say, I'm going to sue you for putting your hands on me because that's against the law to grab somebody who hasn't done anything wrong. And none of the guards or bailiffs will tell me who anybody is. And they're all lying and saying, we didn't see anything. Who grabbed you? It was surreal. It was honestly like, how do you think you're a good person? Like, how do you go to sleep at night? How do you hug your children and say, Daddy loves you when you're such a piece of trash that you would lie? The woman there's a blonde woman who's a jail guard there. She was standing right in front of me when the 4 pulled me out. She was literally leading me out. And she said, when I asked her, she said, I didn't see anything.
Where is that courthouse at? Is this the courthouse? Yeah. So it's kind of a funny looking courthouse, huh? Let me go see if I can hit the judge's chambers here. Show the judge what's going on. But Kevin Waldo, we did the research on him. Kevin Waldo graduated from Ironton High School. So, you know, that means that he's known all these people and the cops and everybody here. He's known them all for years. I'm gonna have to leave this coffee. Let's go see if we can get the judge to have some sense and some decency here. I'm trying to talk to Judge Waldo. Is he in?
Yes, he is.
That'd be great if I can talk to him.
Yes, he is.
And I have this set up so that he can see it. And I'm going to show him something here. Let's see what they say. Let's see what Mr. Waldo says. Oh, let me guess. He's not going to talk to me. There's a shocker, isn't it? So set an appointment maybe for 9-10 a.m. Would that be all right?
Come on.
I'll be. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm for law and order. I'm for America. I just the application of the way the laws are being applied right now, and the harassment that's going on from the Ironton Police Department. I have video that I want to show the judge because this is ongoing. Let me show you guys though, just real quick, since I got you guys right here. Let me just show you guys so you guys get to see the video here. So this is Sarah Page right here. She went to go and pick up a friend, and what's been going on here at Ironton Police Department is for 2 years after Sarah found out that the cops took her wallet, she went back and complained at the police department. And now ever since then, she's being stalked. So she went to go pick up a friend right here. I want you guys to see that. Cop passes. That's that same Officer Blankenship. So you guys can see exactly what happened.
They never, ever come around here.
Dude, I tell you, they look for my car.
They do. They watch for your car. They have to. Like, there's no fucking way, dude. There's never police around here. Unless somebody called, like, an anonymous drug tip line on me for smoking weed, which shouldn't even be illegal.
They can't do that,
I know
dude.
they can't do that,
That's
but
hearsay.
they'll still do it, you know?
And look, there he is, right behind me.
Following you?
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely following
And
you.
I definitely got that on.
Would he pull you over? He's spinning the block too. For what? Or
They're harassing me, is exactly what it is.
If he comes back around, they're definitely stalking you. If he was just driving through. But here's the thing, where the fuck is he going is the thing. Like, there's...
That guy's pulled me over before. He pulled me over before and I gave him fucking hell for it. And I told him to get his supervisor over here.
Cop that was just following.
Yeah. He pulled me over right back here in front of Joe Lynn. And
will he just come back around?
he's harassing me. I'm sorry, Caleb. I will take you to the hospital, like literally, dude, just as quick as I possibly can. But I'm pissed off because there he goes again, and he's gonna fucking circling around.
Is he just
What
gonna
is
keep
that?
circling?
Yep.
Why? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, that makes no logical sense why he would be circling the block over and over
I'm
again.
calling the police department. That's
No,
exactly what I'm
don't call
gonna
the
do.
police department.
Can't take it, man.
I'm sorry that I had you come to Iron.
No, don't be. It's not your fault, buddy. Not at all. They can't get me on the fucking car color shit again. Oh, well, your car comes back as a tan vehicle.
Restart court. I need you to go out here and have a seat.
This is a public building. I'm just going to finish.
No, we're conducting business here. You got to go over here if you're going to have public, if you're wanting to use it. Go out here and have a seat.
Let me help you out with something real quick. So that took me 20 years to get that done right there. And so what that means is I can stand in a public building.
I know, but
I'm
you
not
have to-
disrupting anything.
We're getting ready to start court here.
Okay, that's great. Where's court?
Right here. It's getting ready to start.
Okay, great.
So come on around here.
It's not a lawful order. That's not how it works. So now he's racing around the block.
Say nothing like that. Then he can't do anything. Follow his ass.
They're going out of their way to fuck with me.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
You need to come out here. Go right here. Let's go.
And I'm not going to resist you, but I just want you to understand
I just
something.
want you to sit
A
down here.
1983 civil rights violation, I'll file it. I have a right to stand in the public. But I'm not doing anything other than showing the video of what happened.
Sir, we're trying to conduct business
Right.
here.
No, what
So
you-
you need to
what
sit
you're
right
doing-
here and have a seat.
This is a violation of my
Come right
rights,
out here
guys.
and have a seat.
This is a violation of my
You're
rights.
interfering with what they're doing in here. You need to step out.
But I'm not.
Yes, you are,
Yes, you
because
are.
we have
You need
people
to step
coming
out.
through here.
You guys
You
can
need
do
to
whatever.
step over here.
You guys can do whatever you'd like, but the
Just
thing is,
step right
if
here.
you put your hands on me, what that does is that you're molesting me, and that gives me a right to file a
You
1980.
need to step
Step
out
over
or you
here.
will be arrested.
Just
You're going to
step out
arrest me
here.
for what?
If you don't step out, you are interfering with what they're doing.
But what am I going to be arrested for? What's the charge, officer?
Come on.
No,
Well,
Come
I'm
on.
charged you're going to get.
I've just got one more minute on this video, and then I'll step out. I asked to see the judge. I'm being patient. I'm
Well,
not interrupting anybody.
It's not up to
I
the
haven't-
judge
I
to
haven't
see you
raised
just
my
because you
voice.
want to.
Come on.
I made an appointment for 9:10 a.m.
Let's-
tomorrow.
let's go.
Oh, okay. Let me
Come
grab.
on,
Let me grab my.
let's go.
They put their hands on me.
Have a seat, Richard.
Nick, what's your name, sir?
Have a seat.
Can I please get? I'm not going to sit down. Can I please get your name, sir?
Mark Harmon.
Your name's Mark Harmon. And which department do you work for, sir? Expect a lawsuit. What's it? I need the other gentleman's name. I have a court appointment at 4 o'clock. I go to court at 4 here. I go to court here at 4
Go over
o'clock.
there, next room, right there.
You need to have a seat.
You have a First Amendment right. It doesn't end at the court doors. It doesn't end at the court doors. As long as you're not disturbing the peace, you can film anything you want. You just can't film in the courtroom where there's a jury. That's the only caveat. So now I will finish the video for you guys. Hopefully my computer didn't die in that process.
We've been circled how many times now? That makes the third time. And I can't fucking do it, man. I can't do it. What? Seriously. Dude, can't do it, man. I can't.
Pulling you over.
He can't pull me over. I didn't do anything.
Before I started my journey, when I took off on the road and I went from California to Maine and back twice, bunch of states, before I did that, I had this belief in my heart and in my head that judges were custodians of justice. You can read this in Federalist Paper number 78. And so because I had read the Federalist Papers, I had this idea that these judges were, the proper words are custodians of justice. And so I thought that being in such a small town like Ironton, I would go talk to the local judge in a tiny little town, explain to him that the cops were harassing and stalking Sarah, and he would then take action as a custodian of justice, because if people are arresting her and she's going to court in his courtroom, then he can do something about this. I had this delusion in my head that judges were something good. Judges are the worst part of our country. And you can tell that by the prison industry. From 1968, from Terry versus Ohio to today, it's 300,000 people in 1968, 2.5 million people today. So do the math on that. Almost 10 times the amount of people in prison. Well, who's putting those people in prisons? Judges. Why can't you bring your camera in the courtroom? Because then you'll be able to record the corruption of judges like Kevin Waldo. So at first I had this idea, and then pretty soon I started to placate out. I'll get into those later episodes later, but pretty soon I started to say out loud, oh, you know, Waldo's a great guy. He's really going to jump in on this, knowing he's a corrupt pig sucker. Let me say it again. He's a corrupt cop sucker. 100%. That's what he is. That's what he is. Back the blue till it happens to you. And then you'll call me and you'll say, man, I was a big cop supporter. And then they beat me up and hurt me and they put their knee in my neck. Well, I need your name, sir. You do have a badge on. It's the federal badge ID policy of police.
Better sit down before you do end up in jail.
He threatened to put me in jail for not breaking any statute. That's the tyranny here in Ironton. I mean, what a clown. What a clown. What an absolute clown. And he walks around like he thinks he understands the law. The wheels of justice take time to turn, but they will crush him. See, these guys are used to sovereign citizens. They're not used to a guy who's for law and order. There's a big difference. Oh, do you think it's funny? Do you think it's funny?
I think it's funny.
What do you think what's funny about it? I just want to know. What do you think is funny? Just curious. What do you think is funny?
I think it's funny, yeah.
What's funny?
Where you're acting.
I'm here because there's people who are being stalked, harassed, and arrested 5 times now by the Ironton Police Department. I'm here for liberty and justice.
Well, we'll go down and tell the Ironton Police Department that. What are you telling me?
I already did.
Well, then.
I'm here for Sarah's court hearing at 4 p.m.
Who's hearing?
Sarah Page. I'm here for her court hearing at 4
What's she
p.m.
arrested for?
She's been pulled over twice for not using a blinker, and then she was arrested for not telling the cop, giving her ID as she was a passenger in the car, which again is unconstitutional. You have a right not to identify unless there's probable cause been established.
Okay.
I mean, aren't you for law and order?
Yeah, I am.
Me too. We agree. Aren't you for America? Don't you love this country?
Yeah, are you?
Yes, 100%.
Then we agree.
Okay, so then when the Ironton Police Department, did you hear what he just said? He said, sit down or he'll arrest me. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's right?
Well, yeah, you ought to sit down.
No, but do you think that...
See, when you invade someone else's space...
Invade?
Yeah.
I'm a free citizen. This is a public space paid for by the taxpayers. This isn't your space. This is our space.
This is my space.
Well, I'm not sitting on your
here.
lap.
This is my space.
If you haven't noticed, sir, I haven't raised my voice or cursed at a single person.
I don't care.
But I asked you a direct question. He threatened to arrest me because I didn't sit down. Do you think that's right? You think someone should be able to tell you to sit down or they'll arrest you?
If you're aggravating somebody, yeah.
So aggravation is now a law?
It could be.
It could be.
It could be. I don't know.
Is that really how you see law and order?
I don't know if it is or not.
So let me explain the difference between anarchy and law and order.
Okay.
Anarchy is when you can make things up as you go and arrest people for statutes that don't exist. Rule of law is there's statutes and codes that are written that would mean there's arrestable offenses based on probable cause. We are the power in this country. So that means I have a chance to redress my government and come in here with my First Amendment right and film everything here.
That's what you're doing. So what's the deal?
Well,
what's the deal? I don't understand the deal.
Well, now I'm going to sue that guy who touched me, Mark Harmon, and I don't know the other guy's name. What's his name?
I didn't see nobody touch you.
See, this is the definition of tyranny when they hide who the personnel are. I asked him his name and badge number. He's violating the 2019 Federal Badge Transparency Act. So he's violating the law. Not him, the other gentleman who didn't give me his name. I have a right to file a complaint, to go through all administrative options, and then file a civil rights lawsuit. I have that right. And they can't grab me because they don't want me in the clerk's office. That's against the law. You can't put your hands on me. Just like I can't touch you, I can't touch him, and I can't touch him. I can't put my hands on people. It's rule of law, sir.
Okay.
Well, you said you respected it, but then you said he should be able to arrest me for aggravating him. When
I said you was aggravated.
In which way? How have
I wasn't here.
Have I cursed? Have I cursed you out? You were in the room. You saw him grab me.
I must have my head turned. I don't know.
You must have had your head turned. You didn't see him grab me?
No, I did not.
Well, the video will show that you did see it.
Well, good.
Which is
tickles me to death. I don't
wow.
care.
Just atrocious. Just atrocious. I mean, she came in too. Are you going to identify that officer who put his hands on me, ma'am? Ma'am, I'm behind you, ma'am. I don't want to freak you out or anything. But I'd like to know, are you going to tell me that officer's name? No, the other one.
That's Mark Harmon. There was another gentleman who also put his hands on me, which is against the law.
I didn't see
You didn't?
I was in there, but I didn't see anyone put hands on
You didn't see anybody put their hands on me and grab me? No? Wow. It's on camera.
Oh, I didn't see it. There was people sitting in front of me.
Oh my God. She just said, oh. So you don't know the other guy's name then? The short guy who was, you don't know his name? Can you tell me his name?
No.
She won't tell me his name. So those who claim to be the law break the law, violate the law, and act like
By
they're not.
me not telling you his name is not violating the law.
Do you think that saying that you didn't see anything, do you think that
I didn't see anything.
But you came in the room
I
as,
was
as
in
an
the
authority
room,
figure,
yes,
and
I
then
was.
I was ushered out by physically grabbing me. You're gonna.
I didn't see anyone.
Don't
touch
you have a mom and
seen
dad?
I do have a mom and dad.
Do you believe in the Bible? Honor thy
do.
father and thy mother.
And if I was lying, then I would go to hell for that.
No. The only way you're going to get justice here is through the camera and by lawsuits. They physically grabbed me, and then none of them saw it later. They physically grabbed me. This guy, he won't identify himself. This gentleman right here, get a good look at him. Are you going to identify this gentleman so I can list him in a complaint?
You can have a seat in the courtroom if you like.
You're not going to identify
Make sure your cell phones are turned off.
You're not
Your
going to
hats
identify
are
him?
off.
I mean, you're not going to identify him? I'm just asking a fair question here. Put his hands on me. That's against my rights. Absolute tyrant. This guy's an absolute tyrant. He would never touch me without the gun and badge on, ever. He knows better. But he will do it when he has a badge and gun, and then not identify himself and hide from transparency. I'm suing you, brother. You'll be heading to this court yourself. You'll be a defendant. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. I am not joking. I've come here to do this. This is why I'm here. Now imagine what happens to you in prison because of the 1980 case of Johnson versus Glick. Johnson versus Glick is going to state that you can't file a 1983 if no one saw what happened to you. She said she didn't see anything, and that clown right there said he didn't see anything. Just pathetic. I got to go in here and file my amicus brief, so I got to turn my phone off. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Your Honor, is there a way I could meet with you specifically? Because this regards Sarah Page's case. There's constitutional violations going on right now around her case.
Probably need that. Are you an attorney, sir?
I'm a civil libertarian, Your Honor.
My question was, are you an attorney?
I'm a civil libertarian, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't have a bar card here. I don't have a bar card in this state.
I'll let you meet with you. You got a point to meet with Judge Walter. Okay, I do this traffic.
Oh, I see. And then the last thing, order of business, Your Honor, is I need this gentleman's first name and last name. I'm filing a complaint against him, and I'm filing civil litigation against this man for putting his hands on me. I just need to identify him as a member of the law and order. I would just like his full name so I can file a lawsuit against him.
You go outside. You go out to the clerk's office and get that if you want to.
I've asked 10 people, Your Honor. You are the presiding man here. There's doesn't only higher than you, sir.
When you have a meeting with Judge Waldo in the morning, you can ask him.
So I should just take a picture of him and bring it in? You won't tell me his name? I apologize, sir.
That's not my employee.
Right, but you can't identify him so I can file litigation against him?
You can talk to them or Mr. Waldo, Judge Waldo.
Your Honor, Federalist 78, you are the highest ranking member of this court. You are for law and order.
Sir, if you want to, you're welcome to stay if you want to, but I'm not going to carry on this conversation.
No, I mean, these are your duties, and I know what they are, and I respect you, sir.
Are you ready?
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. The number one responsibility of judges is to be accountable to the rule of law. And you can read this by Alexander Hamilton in Federalist number 78. And what that judge just did was he violated his oath to the bench. When I asked him to identify someone who had assaulted me, he refused to identify, meaning he's not holding up the rule of law. And that's what's going on all across America. That's why I'm traveling the country helping people. We're living in clown world here. Without the camera, without transparency, those people would have jumped me and beat me up, and then these people here are liars and frauds, complete and utter. I mean, just get a good look at his face. He doesn't honor his father and mother. Get a good look at her face. She doesn't honor her father or her mother. She lied. How does that feel? To have an allegiance instead of the Constitution, but to a blue line. Just pathetic. Mark Harmon said, "You better sit down or you're going to get arrested." And I said, "You're going to arrest me for not sitting down?" He said, they said they would arrest me for not sitting down. So then I didn't sit down. And then I went over to this older guy who was the guy you're talking about by the metal detectors. And I said, "Do you think it's right that someone would threaten to arrest me because they don't like what I'm doing?" And he said, "Well, if you're aggravating him." I said, "You think that I should be arrested for aggravating another person?"
And he said, well, maybe. And that's when I said, that's why we have the rule of law, because there are codes, statutes, and ordinances for the reasons why you can be arrested. And that's why we don't have the rule of law is the Constitution, is the Bill of Rights. Now, each state across America has created tyrannical laws that go against the people, against our freedom, and against our liberty. And so when he said that they could arrest me, or he would agree with arresting me for annoying somebody, then I knew I was absolutely in the depths of tyranny.
This is where we finally talked to Sarah Page, and she's explaining how the officers in Ironton, Ohio have been harassing her every time she's in town. So she's not from Ironton, Ohio. She actually lives outside of Ironton, correct?
Right across the bridge in Kentucky.
But she travels often because she has family in Ironton, correct?
Well, the tri-state area, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia, there's this one little section right there where all the states combine in one place. And it's just kind of one big community, but it's split up, of course, because of state lines, across the bridge, across the river. And so Sarah Page had to travel to be able to do her job, to be able to do her door dashing. She had to travel into Ironton, which deathly terrified her. And so in episode 5, I finally get Sarah in front of the police department because we're going to file a complaint against these cops who've been doing this to her. And I've already been there for a couple of days now. And so remember, I'm learning as I go. And so I have learned something very important. And a lot of people will see it and say, man, why are you talking over her? Or why are you victims of police brutality? When they start to bare their soul, as you know, Andre, because you've interviewed so many of them, they'll often go off a chorus and go over here or go over there because their emotional state, number one, doesn't want to talk about that. They'll go to this side, they'll go to that side. And I want to talk directly about the issue. But now that I've interviewed hundreds of victims of police brutality, now I know I have to, like a bowling alley, I have to stick bumper lanes in there and say, no, come back to center right now. Tell me this exactly. And then I say, hold on a second. Let me sum this up for the audience. Because people, when they first watch it, you're going to think, man, he's kind of coming off like he's rough. Well, you haven't interviewed anybody who's been stalked, harassed, arrested, persecuted by the cops, and prosecuted. So I have to try to keep her on track. And so that's what you'll see in episode 5 is me saying, no, focus, hold on, wait, jump, go to this, tell me this. And so you'll see it, right? You can see that I'm literally leading the horse to water. When you hear what they're doing to these people, I got Pam on camera lying and saying she didn't say that she didn't threaten to arrest you.
You said you can file a complaint for him if you want, but I can also arrest you for filing a false complaint against my officer.
So
yeah, this goes to court.
No,
it's
they're gonna duck. They're gonna duck. That's what they're gonna do. Have these guys been just absolutely stalking you and harassing you?
I don't know what else to call it other than
Lose
that.
the mask, will you?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. 2 years this has been going on. I work over here. I have family over here. It's hard not to come across the bridge. We're a tri-state area. Everywhere is right across from each other. And these officers, every time I'm here, they make their presence known. They follow me. They smirk. They intimidate. I mean, it's pathetic. They act like a bunch of middle school boys. And it's to the point that I do fear for my safety when I come over here. And these are supposed to be the people that you go to for help to protect you.
Tell them what happened 2 years ago. Just give them the basis of what happened.
My fiance and I went to the dollar store when I had bag, hands packed full of bags, leaving the store, and I had his wallet in my hand. Well, I guess in the midst of putting the groceries in the car and leaving, I dropped his wallet. Well, I hadn't noticed it at the time, so I left and went across the street to the CVS. Once getting there, I kind of noticed across the street that a police officer has pulled into the spot that I just left.
He was talking to somebody in a van, and then after we pulled out, he circled around and pulled into our spot and opened his door and reached out. And we didn't know what he was doing yet until she was like, the wallet. And I'm like, I don't have it. And we went to the dollar store, and the security camera showed walking out the door with it. So from the door to the car.
Okay.
So when we got in the car, it fell on the ground, we assume, and we saw him pick something up, so she went to the police department.
Okay, and then you came right here?
I did. I came directly here. I didn't know who it was, so when I came here, there was a gentleman here, and I explained to him the situation. I said there was an officer that was just at the dollar store. Could you please have him dispatched here? And he said, well, what for? I said, I believe he picked up my wallet, and I would like to get it back, and would like to do that.
What does he say when he pulls in here?
So he says, how can I help you? I said, well, sir, I'm pretty sure I just watched you pick up my fiance's wallet, and I thought I would just get it back. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have your wallet. I said, sir, you just left the dollar store parking lot, and I'm pretty sure you picked up our wallet.
We watched him
We'd like to
circle in the
have it
parking
back.
lot and look in his lap for like 10 seconds. Like he had to have been looking through it. Right.
And
there was $130 in it. Whoop-de-doo.
No, not whoop-de-doo. You told me earlier you make $15 an hour, so
Yeah.
$130 is a full day's wages.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you're not rich.
Absolutely.
You're not rich.
Oh, no, we're like paycheck to paycheck.
So $130 is a lot of money.
Dude, we can barely keep our car on the road.
Right,
That's our electric
right.
bill
So
paid.
then what happens?
I said, sir, honestly, I thought you would have integrity and give it back. He says, well, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't take it. And even if I did find it, there's not going to be any money in it. And immediately I was like, okay, well, obviously he took it. I mean,
He said, you know what you're doing is accusing an officer of the law of theft.
I said, I'm not accusing you, sir. I'm saying I watched you get it, and I needed it back.
So let's jump, Sarah. So she doesn't get the wallet back. He takes the $130. He takes the wallet, and then
He pulled out and followed me all the way across town. Conveniently pulled me in to the place where I purchased my vehicle. But he said his reason for the stop was that it came back as a tan vehicle.
Okay, so this is the jalopy. Personally, I think that it is a grayish color, but it does have a tan undertone, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it looks more gray or silvery.
she was pulled over because he ran her plate without probable cause, which is a violation of the law. And then he said he pulled her over because her car's coming back not tan but silver or whatever the BS he made up was. He pulled her over for saying that her reg didn't come back with the right color of car. That's what she was pulled over for the wrong color car. And what happens?
He wrote me a ticket after I proved that was incorrect. He wrote a ticket because I had a mask hanging from a rearview mirror.
Right, he wrote her a ticket for that because you were sitting in the passenger seat and they wanted to identify.
They wanted to ID me, and I told them, look, I'm a passenger. You can talk to her. They had like 6 cops around the car.
So just so you guys know, there's a Supreme Court case that allows the police to read your license plate and run your license plate whenever and wherever your car is in a public space. And so what they do is that they see Sarah's car and they run the license plate and it comes back as a gray or a tan car. I can't remember which one it is. Now, the car is a mix kind of between gray and tan. It's an old car. This is an old jalopy. These folks don't have any money. The car's 15, 20 years old. It's $1,000 car, $2,000 car maybe. And so the cops run her license plate and it comes back as a silver car or a tan car. And so then they pull her over on the idea that it's the wrong color car on the registration. And then when they go to give the registration, they tell them that they're giving a fake registration because the color of the car on the registration doesn't match the color that they're seeing. The car is almost 20 years old, maybe even 20 years old. And so the sun over time will slightly mutate and change the color of a car. We know this, especially classic car owners. And so they pull her over for that. And then eventually she'll be arrested, put in torture cuffs.
And then they let you guys go. And then what happens after that?
It was pretty quiet for a little bit. But then after that,
A few months passes.
we came over and helped my mother-in-law move some furniture, and we're traveling back through town to meet my sister at the CVS.
We passed this guy. He's got his nose sticking out of the car wash. As we pass him, he sees our vehicle and literally immediately pulls out, and he's like 3 cars back. He follows us until he turns off, speeds down another street, and tries to get closer behind us. And he gets like 1 car, but now he's got 1 car between us. And he's weaving back and forth. And when we pull into CVS, I used my turn signal at the gym, right? It's like almost a half a block away. And I knew he was back there. I knew he was going to pull us. I pulled in. We got out of our car. He hadn't pulled in yet. That car that was in front of him stopped, and it took him a minute to get in the parking lot. We were halfway across the parking lot.
Tim, why did he pull you over?
He said he pulled me over for, well, God, I got a brain fart. Yeah, 100 feet prior is what he said.
Tim, what?
Wait, why do I have to give you that? I don't understand that.
Because I stopped you for a traffic violation. You have to get it.
For what traffic?
Not using turn signal 100 feet prior.
Did I commit a crime? I need to speak to your supervisor. Oh, whoa! Hey, I'm not. He drops his gun clip, bullets go falling everywhere. He grabs his taser immediately because she comes out the driver's side because she thinks they're
I thought they were going to shoot him.
She saw a gun clip hit the ground. She thought they had a gun out.
Get back.
Get your camera on, please!
Get back in the car.
Sarah,
Stay in the car.
no one's going to record
resisted or anything.
What
the hell is this about?
He's up.
One of the supervisors show up, and I said, "Are you a supervisor?" He says, "No, but you got the right to remain silent, so fucking do it." So then the other supervisor shows up while I'm in the back of the cruiser, but only after the officer pulls him to the side and lies his ass off to him about. He changes his story so many times.
And then did they take you to the dungeon?
Oh yeah.
How long are you in jail for?
3 days.
How long are you in cuffs for?
Oh, a good, what, 45 minutes?
45 minutes in handcuffs. And then so when he takes him to the dungeon, are you allowed to take the car and leave?
Oh no, they held me too. I actually got put in the back of 2 different cruisers.
In handcuffs?
In handcuffs.
Okay. You can stand back here with him, okay?
Why did you do that?
Okay. Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
I've done nothing wrong. It's not wrong to plead my case. What have I done?
They took them both to jail for not using a blinker.
She tried to bail me out the next day after I got her bailed out. My mom came and bailed her out. She tried to come bail me out. They told her that I had a holder or a warrant or something. They lied. I didn't have any of that shit.
Right. So what happens here is when they arrest him, they put him in the dungeon for 3 days, but the next day she goes down to the jail and says, I want to get my boyfriend out. And they say that there's a hold. They can't get him out. That was a lie. They left him in there just to leave him in there. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In episode 5, you hear Tim explaining he went to jail for 3 days. Sarah goes to bail her boyfriend out. The Ironton police lie and say there's a hold on him, and we find out that this is a blatant lie. Can you explain how we found out this was a lie, and why did they lie about this? What was going on here?
It's a corruption system where they're all in it together. The Lawrence County jailers are in on it with the Ironton cops. They're in on it with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. They're all in on it together. And so when Tim is arrested at that CVS and they drag him off to the dungeon, then the Lawrence County jailers, and I'm suing him, his name's John Chapman. It's in my lawsuit. John Chapman allegedly would have to have then colluded with the Ironton Police Department to then tell Sarah on the phone. They went down to the jail to get Tim out, and they said, oh no, he's got a hold. So then he had to sit in jail for 3 days. And then when he gets out, later Tim would find out there was no hold on him. He could have got bailed out that night. Even 1 minute inside of the dungeon is horrific. Imagine your family trying to bail you out and John Chapman, along with the Ironton police, colluding together to make sure that you stay in that dungeon. And by the way, the jail gets paid on every 8-hour cycle.
And so then they go to court. They try to say what in court? They say they charge you with crimes. And what does your public pretender say?
Oh, God.
He says, well, here's what the prosecutor wants. 5 days in jail.
5 days in jail.
He's going to drop the obstruction to a disorderly charge and 1 year probation.
And then strongly she said, no, I'm not going to take it, right?
Yep.
And then what happened to your next hearing?
The next hearing, he walks out and he says, here you go. You're out of here. Leave.
The public pretender walks up to her, who she has had no meetings with, who she did not show her the body cam, and says, okay, it's done. You guys are done. You're free to go. They just offered her 5 days in the dungeon at the last hearing, but now it's all okay. It's all okay now. Everything's fine.
They pulled him over for not using a blinker, and he goes to jail. Police have discretion. They can tow your car. They can not tow your car. They can arrest you. They can not arrest you. From my perspective, Andre, you should not be arrested unless you are a danger to society or a danger to yourself. And we can establish that clearly because you've assaulted somebody else, because someone's bleeding, because there's a weeping babe, because there's a man crying in the streets. The only reason you should be arrested in these United States of America is because you're violent, to where you're actively destroying someone's property, breaking their house, breaking their stuff, or actively destroying another person physically. Yet they arrested Tim maybe for no license or no blinker, but they took him to the dungeon. And if you haven't been to the dungeon, then don't hack it till you try it. And then you'll become a subscriber, and then I'll get an email from you, Chili, please help me. I get hundreds of emails a day. Most of the time on the top line, it says, please help me. Nobody will help me.
In the end, Brandon Blankenship was promoted to the position of captain within the Ironton Police Department, following Chief Pam Wagner's resignation. Rumors would circulate about his younger brother, Officer Chance Blankenship's alleged substance abuse problems and ongoing abusive behavior towards others. Robert Fouch, Sergeant Evan Mcknight, and Captain Chad Gu remain active police officers within the Ironton Police Department. Jonathon Spoljaric, formerly a deputy for the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department under Jeff Lawless, would resign. Shortly after his resignation, a video would emerge revealing Spoljaric's violation of Kent Freeman's civil rights. Bradley Spoljaric, who is accused of drug dealing by Mr. DeCastro during his investigation, would be arrested 6 months after Mr. DeCastro left Ironton, Ohio, Bradley is currently serving a 1-year sentence in the Lawrence County Jail for possessing meth and fentanyl. As mentioned previously, Chief Pam Wagner would resign just a few months after Mr. DeCastro's departure from Ironton. As for Sarah Page, she continues working as a DoorDash driver and striving to lead a meaningful life. Tim Lyons remains Sarah's fiance and continues to document police activities in Ironton, Ohio. Due to Chili DeCastro's exceptional investigation, numerous officers mentioned in this video are no longer affiliated with the Ironton Police Department or the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office. In fact, some of these officers are currently incarcerated for the offenses they were rightfully accused of by Mr. DeCastro. It is truly astonishing to witness the tremendous impact that an educated and fearless individual can have when they persistently pursue justice. To stay updated on the developments of this case, I encourage you to subscribe to American Patriot Proudly.
Oh, there's Pam. Pam, we want a complaint form.
Can we get some complaint forms?
Can we get a
They're on
complaint?
our website. They sure are.
Well, Pam, do you want to refute what she said? She said that you told her you would threaten to arrest her for filing a false police report. Is that true?
That is not true. I believe if you're...
One of your officers bragged that she came out of the station crying when she tried to file a report.
And she did.
And we've been harassed.
Okay, I believe what I said to you was, if you moved forward with a false police report, you could be prosecuted for that. Is that not the words I used?
Right.
Is that not the words I used?
Look at her aggressive house. So let me ask you a question. They pulled over twice for having the wrong color car, twice for no blinker, and they put them in cuffs and arrested them. You think that's appropriate, Pam?
They got arrested for no blinker?
They got arrested. They went to the dungeon, Pam, for obstruction of justice for not showing ID. Do you think that's appropriate, Pam? You think people should go to the dungeon and be cuffed up?
I think you all need a job.
No, this is my job, Pam. I'm not done with you guys by a long shot. We are not done by a long way, Pam. I'm just getting warmed up, Pam. I just started here, Pam. Yeah, I just started, honey. A couple things. Number one, I did have a lot of help. There was a lot of good people in Ironton who helped me. You know, Car Thief News showed up, Frickin' Media showed up, Michigan Constitutional Crusader showed up in Ironton. So I did have some help. And then one of our old friends, both of ours, a guy named DPN who passed away this last year, he also helped me immensely. He covered what I was doing in Ironton. People just don't really understand the depth of the corruption that was happening there and how awful it was for Sarah Page and Tim Lyons. The officers who harassed Sarah the most were Mcknight, the Blankenship brothers, Fouch, and then Chad Gu. Chad Gu was the supervisor on the scene, and he approved of what was happening to Sarah.
Okay, Chad Gu is a new name I haven't heard before.
You're going to learn about him in season 2. And not only that, Kevin Waldo, now I can't prove some of these things just yet.
We're going to say allegedly.
Allegedly, Kevin Waldo. So you have to run for judge there. Kevin Waldo ran on this idea that they would do drug rehabilitation instead of putting people in jail. Well, then you find out that the prosecutors, the county commissioners, and the judges have ownership in over a dozen different rehabilitation clinics in Ironton, Ohio. So if you go to court and you get sentenced to drug re-education, you might be going to Anderson's, because Waldo can't send you to his rehabilitation center. He sends you to Anderson's or to, can't remember all their names anymore, but there's so many prosecutors, assistant prosecutors, and county commissioners. Deanna Holiday and her family, they own a rehabilitation center. So if you go to Waldo's court, he's not going to send you to his, he sends you over to Deanna Holiday's. If you go to, what's the other judge's name? I want to say Ballard. If you go to Ballard's courtroom, then he'll sentence you to Waldo's rehabilitation center. And all of this is for nonprofit. All of this is to help people. Meanwhile, people keep on getting arrested and keep on going to these rehabs for a year or two. And you know how much that costs? Like $30,000 or $40,000 a month for the rehabilitation clinics. And then when they get out, they, of course, recidivate. They do chemicals again. And then they go back where? They go to jail for a second so the jail can get the money for 6 months. And then they go to rehabilitation clinic. And who's doing this? Judge Kevin Waldo.
You can get chemicals in jail. How do you get the chemicals in jail? The guards, guys like Mark Harmon. I don't know if Mark Harmon does that, but that's how the drugs get into jails, is through the guards. It doesn't go in through the back of your booty where they bend you over, squat, and cough. No, that's not how the majority of the drugs get in. They get in through the prison guards and the cops. And we know that because Bradley Spoljaric is right now in prison for dealing drugs. He had 20 grams of meth and 8 grams of fentanyl on him.
Can you explain who he is real quick?
Bradley Spoljaric was an Ironton police officer who, when I went there, I called him out because he had been bullying and beating up people for so long. I have stories about Bradley Spoljaric on my phone that I can't release because those people are afraid of retaliation. Bradley Spoljaric was the brother of Jonathon Spoljaric, who worked for Jeff Lawless's sheriff's department, the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department in that little tri-state area. And so Bradley Spoljaric, when I was there, I had got information that he was actually dealing drugs. So then when I said it out loud on my live stream, I really didn't think that later he would get arrested and go to prison for drugs. But I had several confidential informants who told me that Bradley Spoljaric was dealing drugs. Come to find out later that he was. Well, you know, Andre, if they sue me for defamation, that would then force me to reopen my investigation on them. And I've already caught one. So I'll say it right now. Blankenship's father is being accused of being one of the biggest meth dealers in that town, and that he has couriers that work for him that both Blankenship brothers look the other way when they see those couriers driving through town. That's the information I have. I have it recorded on my phone from confidential informants. Bradley Spoljaric's in prison. Jonathon Spoljaric resigned after I exposed him, and Pam Wagner resigned shortly after I left Ironton, and I sued all of them. I'm still suing them now to this day.